Hi there, Mike Mullin, LePage here, sitting down with Roy Chopp, Cooperative Insurance here in Orangeville. Roy, question for you. We get a lot of instances here in Dufferin, in particular, where somebody will have an oil-burning furnace, an oil tank, either in the house or outside the house. Right. What's the logistics of that as far as insurance is concerned? What should people be aware of when they're looking at buying a property with oil?
All right. Well, the biggest issues with oil heat for an insurance company is if the oil tank leaks, it can cause considerable damage to the soil, and we could pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have to clean that up. Right. And the other issue is with furnace blowbacks. So as a furnace gets older, sometimes there's deterioration in the heat exchanger, and you can actually get soot flowing throughout the house on all the surfaces. So we do pay quite a few claims when it comes to oil heat. And for that reason, you can expect to pay a little bit more. There's usually a surcharge of about 10% if there's oil heat.
Yes.
Now, having said that, the other big issue when you're buying a home with oil heat is can you insure it? Okay, so oil tanks are the #1 cause of problems for us when we're trying to insure a rural property. So, with the oil tanks, if you have a steel tank, there's generally 2 types of oil tank, and they relate to the thickness of the steel. Right. So if you have a tank that has a 2mm thick steel wall, and that information will be on a tag on the tank, those tanks have a history of leaking long before their expected life, and they're no longer ULC certified. Right. So you can't install a brand new 2mm tank.
Are they still made?
No, okay. They're not making them anymore, but there's a lot of them out there.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're looking at buying a home with a 2mm thick walled tank, you are likely going to have problems getting insurance on it. If it's a 2.5mm tank, then your odds are better. Right. But we still need to be concerned about the age of the tank.
Yes.
So again, this is one of those areas where every insurance company has their own rules. Right. Generally, though, if the tank is indoors and it's a 2.5mm thick wall, then you can expect to have that tank for 19 years or so. Yes. If it's outside, then the most you're going to expect is about 14 years.
And who is the judge of that age? Is it TSSA or is it the insurance company?
The year of manufacture. They go by the year of manufacture of the tank, and that date is actually stamped on the tank. Right. Okay. So if there's no date stamped on the tank, then the assumption is that it's too old, and it would have to be replaced. Yes. So if there is a date and it falls within those guidelines, then you're probably going to be okay. In every case, though, we do an inspection of the oil tank.
The insurance company does the inspection.
That's right. Okay. And the reason we're doing that, A, we need to confirm the details of the tank. Yes. But we're also looking to make sure that there's no hazards around the tank, as far as something that might fall and sever the fuel line. We want to make sure that the lines aren't buried underground, and that there's no other issues around that. So it's a fairly big issue for us, and it's one of those things that if there is oil heat, that should be your first call is to your insurance advisor to talk about that and to make sure that it's going to fit.
What about homes? And there are some here in Orangeville that have buried oil tanks in the backyard that have not been removed. Right. Is that a critical situation?
It is a critical situation.
Yes.
If you have one of those situations, you are going to have difficulty finding any insurance company that's going to look at it for you.
And the solution is to remedy that is to have it removed.
Is to have it professionally removed, make sure there's no leaks. Yes. Once that's done, then you won't have any problems.
Excellent. Excellent. And again, get certification, documentation that proves that you physically have done it.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Great. Again, Roy Chopp, Cooperative Insurance, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.